What if everything you're working for is the very thing stealing your life? What if success is the trap? What if you wake up at 80 and realize you never actually lived?
Welcome to You Don't Make My Mistake YouTube channel. This is not a story about money. This is a story about what money costs. My name is Hayden Callum. I'm 80 years old, and I gave my life to my job, and it gave me nothing back.
The promise we believed. Let me ask you something. When you were young, what did they tell you success looked like? Was it a nice house? A strong paycheck? A respected job title? That's what they told me. They said, work hard, don't complain, sacrifice now, enjoy later. So I believed them, and that belief cost me everything. I grew up in a small town in Ohio. My father worked at a factory. My mother cleaned houses. We didn't have much, but we had dinner together every night. We laughed, we talked, we lived, but I wanted more. Not more happiness, more approval, more respect, more proof that I mattered.
Do you know how dangerous that is? When you stop trying to be happy and start trying to be impressive. I was the first in my family to go to college. I worked 2 jobs. I barely slept, but I felt proud. People started saying my name differently. Not Hayden, but Hayden, the smart one. And I loved that. I loved being important. I got hired by a big company in Chicago. First office job, first tie, first cubicle. I remember calling my mom and saying, "Mom, I made it." But what I didn't realize was that I was also leaving something behind. Did you know you can succeed so fast you don't notice what you're losing? The promotions came, so did the stress, then the long hours, then the late nights. But I told myself, this is what winners do. I met a beautiful woman named Laura. We fell in love fast. She believed in me. She said, "You're going places, Hayden." I took that as permission to disappear into my job. We got married. We had 2 kids. And that's when life started happening, while I was busy working. What if the real danger in life is not failing, but missing it? I missed birthdays, school plays, first steps, first words. But I brought home money, so I told myself I was a good father. I wasn't. I was a provider, not a presence. Laura used to wait up for me. Cold dinners, warm hopes. Eventually she stopped waiting. Not because she didn't love me, but because I stopped being there. How many relationships die, not from cheating, but from neglect? I told myself, I'm doing this for them. But the truth? I was doing it for me. For the applause, for the status, for the feeling that I mattered. One night, my son had a school play. He had one line. Laura called me 3 times. I ignored it. I was in a meeting. That night he asked, "Dad, did you hear me?" I lied. I said yes. He knew. Do you know the moment a child stops trusting you? That's when something breaks. Quietly. Permanently. By 45, I was making more money than I ever dreamed. But my house felt empty. My kids barely talked. Laura barely looked at me. And I still didn't understand why. I was successful, but I was alone.
You don't lose your life in one big moment. You lose it one "I'm busy" at a time. How many times today did you say, "I'll do it later"? Laura eventually stopped arguing. That scared me more than if she yelled. Silence is what happens when someone gives up. One night she said, "I feel like a single mother with a roommate who pays the bills." I laughed it off. I shouldn't have. At work, I was a star. At home, I was a stranger. What if the people you love don't care how successful you are? My son moved out at 18. Didn't even say goodbye. My daughter barely called. Laura and I slept in the same bed, but lived in different worlds. Then the heart attack came, right there in my office. Bright lights, sirens, cold hands. I thought I was dying. And do you know what I thought about? Not money, not my job. I thought about my kids. I thought about Laura. I thought I didn't love them enough.
What would you regret if this was your last day? I survived, but nothing changed. I went back to work. That's the addiction nobody talks about. Success. A few years later, Laura left. No fight, no drama, just a suitcase, and a look that said, "I waited long enough." That night, I sat in a big empty house that I bought for people who no longer lived in it. What's the point of winning if you win alone? I kept working because when you lose your family, your job becomes all you have. My kids stopped calling. Holidays were silent. The house echoed, and I finally understood. I had traded everything real for something that never loved me back.
Let me tell you something most people don't admit. When everyone leaves, the silence becomes louder than any crowd. After Laura left, the house didn't feel empty. It felt haunted. Every room held a memory. Every chair reminded me of someone who used to sit there. I used to walk past my son's old bedroom, still untouched, and I would stop, like if I stayed long enough, maybe time would rewind. It never did. Have you ever wished you could go back, just 5 minutes, and do everything differently? One morning, a letter came in the mail, handwritten, no return address. I almost threw it away. I'm glad I didn't. It was from my son, the boy whose school play I missed, the boy who stopped trusting me, the boy who became a man without me. He wrote, "Dad, I don't know if you care, but I just had my first child, a son, and I realized something. I don't know how to be a father, because you were never really there. I don't hate you. I just don't know you."
What's worse, being hated or being forgotten? I sat on my kitchen floor and cried. Not because he was cruel, because he was honest. And honesty hurts when it's late. I wanted to call him. But what do you say after 30 years of silence? "I'm sorry" felt too small. "I was busy" felt insulting. So I wrote back. I told him the truth. That I was scared. That I was broken. That I chose work because I didn't know how to choose people. Weeks passed. No reply. Then one day my phone rang. And everything changed. It was him. He said, "Dad, I'm coming to see you." My hands were shaking. I hadn't seen him in over 20 years. When he walked through that door, he didn't look like the boy I left. He looked like a man. And I realized I had missed an entire lifetime. We didn't talk at first. We just sat. Then he said, "I don't need money from you. I don't need advice. I just need you now." And for the first time in my life, I understood. What if the only thing people ever wanted from you was you? I can't undo the past, but I can tell you the truth. I worked for a company that forgot my name the moment I retired. I sacrificed people who loved me for a job that never did. And that is the biggest lie of success. Here is the final lesson. Your job will replace you in a week. Your family will never replace you. Your emails won't be at your funeral. Your loved ones will. So stop waiting. Call them. Hold them. Love them. Before your life becomes a story of regret. This is the final lesson. My name is Hayden Callum, and I hope you don't make my mistake.
If you're still here, type "I won't wait" in the comments. It tells the algorithm this message matters, and it reminds you not to forget it. Subscribe to the final lesson for stories that change how you see your life.